This has got the highest concentration of the poison in there. Oh, this crab could be perfect. Oh, an old, very basic fishing lure. Woo! Oh, there's one, he's taken off. Here he is. I'm gonna try and get a fire going with it. You beauty! Now, imagine this for a second. Your home country is completely in turmoil. The only way for you and your family to survive is to jump on an old wooden leaky boat and head out for the horizon, head out hoping to find a more peaceful country. Unfortunately, this is the exact scenario for so many people around the world, but there's one specific case that really spiked my interest because it happened on one of the islands just past here, and that's the survival challenge I'm gonna recreate today. So a boatload of about 30 people made it across from Sri Lanka all the way into Australian waters undetected, and they landed on one of the islands here before their boat was broken up on the rough shores. With very limited supplies, they then set up camp for a couple of weeks before anyone noticed. The Australian Border Force eventually caught up with them, and then it does get all a little bit political, and that's not what I'm interested in. The part I'm interested in is the couple of weeks they managed to survive on this deserted tropical island. I'll show you what I've got in the bag here. I've tried to recreate a fairly similar couple of items to what they would have had, and then the idea is not only survive here, but hopefully work towards actually thriving in this environment. I've got GoPro batteries in here. I've got a torch, zinc that's basically sunscreen, and I've got a spare GoPro here as a head mount. That's it, guys. Let's see how we go. Okay, no doubt the first thing you want to be doing is searching along the high tide line to see what else is washed in, see what could be possibly useful to us, whether it's a food source, whether it's a bit of rope. We're not really sure exactly what we're looking for, but anything that'll be useful, let's start picking it up. Now this is interesting. Here we've got two nuts. There's no secret here that there's coconuts around, so I'm going to really be relying on them for hydration, I dare say. But this one here, this is called a box fruit. Very interesting use for this. It can be used to poison fish. And there's a couple of these along the high tide line, so all the current comes around this way. If we can find the source of this fruit, the actual tree itself, we could be in luck. So the real objective, guys, is of course we're going to need fire, we're going to need water or hydration, we're going to need food, and we're going to need shelter. And when it's this bloody hot, the general rule of thumb is 2 days without hydration and about 2 weeks without food. So therefore it's quite obvious the priority is we need to get hydration at some point. You beauty. Doesn't get much easier, more convenient than that. A couple of low-hanging coconuts. That is a real gift when you need hydration. All right, I'll get this one open. Beautiful. The one other item I've got that I didn't show you before, I do have a hip knife. So these guys would most likely be traveling with a knife bigger than this, a machete, but this will do, this will do. It's definitely gonna come in handy opening this drinking coconut. I feel like, especially as it warms up here over the next couple of days, I just need to take whatever hydration I can get, keep the body hydrated. Nice, just one little drinking hole up the top does the job like that. Also, just a quick disclaimer, guys, while I've tried to recreate similar survival situation they were in once they got to the island, of course, I can no way comprehend, you know, the struggles they went through back on their home country and then, you know, the ocean passage getting here. Looks like we've got some pretty thick jungle in there, which of course has its own benefits, but coming up around here, this is the windward side where we've got our best chance of finding anything washed in, and then I think we'll head into the jungle. This is the other thing I could be looking for in the age of plastic. Is unopened water bottles like this. Chances are this is good drinking water. Let's give it a test. I'm sure this says best before year 27th of the 4th, 2419. Thankfully it's not expired. Some days you get lucky. That's just beautiful drinking water. I'm gonna bring that with me. Oh yeah. Well, relying on coconuts and old water bottles washed in on the high tide line definitely isn't recommended. I just wanted to share with you a special offer that our mates at AG1 are putting on for all B2B viewers at the moment. They're doing a 90-day money-back guarantee. So you've got 3 months to try it and decide whether you like it or not. Now, about 12 months ago, I was in need of a simple solution that was going to provide my body with the daily nutrients it needed while out on these remote trips. And I read that AG1 helped with a range of things like improving your sleep, improving your gut health, improving your digestive system, supporting your immune system, boosting your energy and endurance throughout the day, and even improving things like your hair, your skin, and your nail quality. Needless to say, I gave it a crack, and now a year later, AG1 is part of my morning routine, not just when I'm out bush, but all the time. I have just a very convenient either travel pack or one scoop once a day, and then I know my body's covered for the entire day. So guys, if you're not already drinking it, now is the best time to start. The link in the description will get you that special offer, guys. You've got nothing nothing to lose. Try it, see how you go. Make the most of this 90-day money-back guarantee. And that link will also get all B2B viewers 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D3 plus K2. Nothing to lose. That is my kind of deal. Now, back to the survival challenge. This type of stuff actually makes me think of the wreck itself, because after the Australian authorities caught up with them, they then burnt the wreck and burnt all of the supplies for quarantine issues apparently before moving the guys off the island. So all that remains on the island now is a bit of sort of char grilled wood like this. Oh, fishing lure. Fortunately the hooks are rusted off. There's a little bit of line on there which could come in handy though. I'll put this in a pocket as well. This one's probably not going to help me survive, but it's the sign of a little morale booster anyway. This is what once was a Nautilus shell. A real highlight for any beachcombers and shell enthusiasts. Holy, we picked a good island to be shipwrecked on. Check this out. Lots and lots of ripe, low-hanging coconuts. That is just bloody beautiful. Looks like we've got hydration sorted for probably a couple of weeks there, realistically, with them coconuts. We'll keep walking, see what else we can find. And I'm pretty keen to get something to eat. I'm pretty keen for a good food source. Check out this beach though. This is absolutely stunning. I've seen a couple of fish working, which is a very good sign. This here's a land crab. It's rare to find them sort of out in the open, not well hidden like that, but I could easily catch him with one of these sticks. Although they don't have too much meat on them, so we're gonna keep looking for something a little bit better, but it's nice to know that we've got a sort of fallback plan with those land crabs. All right, that sand sort of turned into rocks now, and this is a good place to look for things like oysters or shellfish and other fish or crabs hiding in around the rocks here. So I've just got a bit of bamboo that could help our cause. There's a school of mullet down there. Oh, this bamboo is no good. I need to actually fashion a spear if I was any chance to spear them. Oh, this crab could be perfect. Beautiful. Well, he's too small to eat. Crab like this is one of the favourite foods for some of the bigger fish, so he might come in handy to be used as bait or something like that. The rainforest jungle really comes down to the beach here, so I'm going to keep looking a bit further and then we'll head into the jungle. The birds love it here. Actually, one of the main sources of food for the guys that were shipwrecked there was actually the seabirds. So when they were found, apparently they had booby birds and these black shearwaters all strung up in the trees that they were really relying on. And when they're nesting, they can be quite easy to catch, and they are a viable source of food, but they're off limits for us, so no birds for us. There's a big school of fish here that look like mullet, I think. They're in under the protection of these trees that overhang the water. If I get very lucky, I could stun one with this. Oh, there's a big school of them. The whole school just spooked out further. See them all there? There's bits and pieces of rope washed in here that I'm gonna try and collect. Oh, an old, very basic fishing lure, but geez, this could come in handy. It's got a rusty old hook that's gonna need to sharpen. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in my pocket. There's all these fishing nets that have been washed in, and they're so well wedged under these trees that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get them out, but I'm gonna see if there's any spare bits of rope that I can take for myself. Look at that, huge net. Got some smaller stuff back here. Oh yeah, I'll take this. Managed to salvage a little bit of fishing line in amongst it all. One hell of a tangle, but this could be very useful. All right, that high tide's preventing me from going any further. A lot of those fish will actually be easier to catch on the low tide. So for now, I'm gonna go into the jungle. Oh, everywhere you look, there's just crabs and centipedes scurrying through this foliage here. Look at those big guys, that's a big crab. There's plenty of those land crabs, which is a good sign. Oh, we're in luck here. So these are figs, a tasty little fruit that's come from this tree here, the strangler fig tree. The strangler fig is a parasitic tree where it quite literally strangles the life out of other trees and takes over and then grows into this grand big tree itself. Thankfully for us, it produces these tasty little red fruits. There's a few fruits and nuts and different things I know I can eat, and there's a hell of a lot more I need to learn, but that's what I'm keeping my eyes out here for. It's just anything I can snack on or eat along the way. And I guess I'm using sort of like a strategy or a technique that the Aboriginal people of Australia used back in the day so successfully. It's probably the main technique that allowed them to survive in such a harsh country, is that they were nomadic, so they didn't set up camp for too long in the one area and overexploit it. They were constantly on the move through the weather patterns and through the seasons, and are just grazing as they went the whole day. So that's what I'm going to do basically through here, have a walk around, see what I can snack on, and see what I can find. Hey, have a look at all the rubbish that's washed up here though. So much rubbish washed up. There's a pretty amazing area where these big kind of spectacular hardwood trees come down onto this tropical beach. I mean, if you weren't shipwrecked here, you could actually appreciate it. It's such an amazing spot. Spider web. Uh-oh. Not sure this is the best path here, but gotta be mindful of centipedes and spiders through here. Now this is the shiny leaf of the box fruit tree, and this is the tree I've been looking for since we saw those box fruit washed in on the high tide line. The reason we're looking for this tree is because of its poisonous properties. I'm gonna grab as many of these box fruit as we can, and we're gonna use these to try and poison something later. Now, fish poisons have been used by indigenous folk all around the world, and they can work in a couple of different ways, the actual poison. One of the ways, it can restrict the oxygen in the water of the rock pool, and basically the fish are then starving for oxygen, come up and become disoriented, and then you can easily catch them. These ones have got a different type of poison called a saponin that attacks the nervous system of the fish, paralyzing them and then allowing us to easily catch them. But thankfully the poison is restricted only in their gills and doesn't get passed on to us or whatever eats them. And then as the tide comes in, it'll wash all that away. This seed, this is what we're after. This has got the highest concentration. All right, let's go find ourselves a rock pool. If that doesn't work, we've got this crab as a backup bait. Let's go. A few fish caught in this one. If I can block off there, this might be our go. There's a few fish in this rock pool here, but they've still got an escape. If I block off their escape, then we can go to work. Right, I think we're good. We'll get a couple more. That's the way. There we go. Looks like a couple of mullet in here actually. I'm going to get the poisons going here and drift it back that way. Bit rotten, but hopefully it works. This is the one we're after. Look at that. Let's smash that up. Get all that poison coming out. Straight on top of the poison patch, another one there. Look at him. He's definitely affecting him, this bloke. Almost pick him up, I reckon. There's a couple of fish in here that are definitely showing signs already. They're swimming around very kind of strangely. I'm just going to give it a little bit longer, and then hopefully this poison does its work and we can go and get them. Get a bit more in there. Yes, there we go. It's worked. You beauty. We flushed out this little rock pool here and it's worked. A little mullet. You can't normally catch these guys by hand, but that poison definitely did its work. And I'm actually gonna go for an upgrade. I'm gonna use this guy as bait and see if we can get something substantial for dinner. There's still a few other fish in this pond here, so I'm just gonna put the last of these box fruit in there and see if they work. Nice seed. That's what we're going for. Well, I really think this is our best chance to catch something substantial. So for bait, we've got that mullet cut in half. Give us two options. Everything loves mullet. And then we've got that crab as a backup bait. So in here, really hoping for anything, but there's a good chance at bluefin trevally, like I've seen swimming around on the edge. They love mullet, or a big cod. That would be amazing. Just sharpen this hook up. There we go. There's a deeper rock pool over here where I saw a few fish when I was exploring before. I'm in a little bit of a hurry because this tide's going to start racing back in soon. I don't have long to catch a fish. All right, you can see there's a deep pool here. As the tide washes anything down into the rock pool, like crabs or mullet like this, there should be some bigger fish waiting for an easy meal. That's the theory. Oh, it's really ripping out now, really quick. There's a big cod came out. He was right below my feet, but I don't know whether he saw me. He just sort of spooked a bit. I'm gonna try the crab. All right, last go. I'm gonna go down in this deep crack here. Hopefully I can just drift back with the current. No luck, but I am keen to keep trying with the hand line. I think that's my best chance to catch something substantial. Oh guys, check this out. The poison's done its job here. Check this out. Look at that, fully paralyzed. These are a little goat fish, and then this is a mullet. Another one here, 2. There must have been a school of them kind of hidden up under the cracks here. That's awesome. That's the first time I've ever used that, but I'm glad it worked. Beauty. We've got some bait for this afternoon. Well, I'm gonna go for a bit of a walk down this stretch of the beach and try our luck, see if we can catch something off here. It looks like there's a bit of a deeper channel. Hopefully there's something in there that wants to take our bait. Holy, have a go at the size of that. That's a good sign. That must be out there. Some big crayfish. That would be one hell of a meal. Another crayfish shell. Oh, look at this big crab. Amazing colors on it. It's just a shell though. So this is the type of thing I was looking for. See here, as the water drains out of all these rock pools, it funnels down through this one area, and that means any crabs that get washed out, any fish that have died in the rock pools through the tide are going to get washed out, and hopefully there's some bigger fish waiting just there on that drop off. That's the plan. I'm going to put a bait on and see if I can float it straight off there. Oh yes, come on. Yes, 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 this is going to be dinner. Where is he? Where is he? Woohoo! Yes! Jeez, he just engulfed that hook, didn't he? Look at that. Beautiful little trevally. I'll put him straight out of his misery. Sorry mate, you're gonna be just the right size for dinner. Persistence paid off, and I'm eating well tonight. That is gonna be absolutely delicious. Next thing, we need to get a fire sorted while there's a bit of heat. So I'm gonna move up the beach a little bit more, find somewhere out of the wind. Let's get on to making a fire. This is where I want my fire to end up, but I'm gonna need to get it started out of the wind and then move it down here. Well, I've come back off the beach a little bit to try and get out of the wind. This is a bit of bamboo that's washed up on the beach. I'm gonna try and get a fire going with it. Oh, that's smoking. That's smoking already. No way. You can see the edges turn black there, and that's smoking already. Look at the smoke pouring out of that. Close. Close, man, close. Oh, look at that smoke. Man, we got some serious heat. Smoke was coming out. I thought I had an ember, but it went out. It wasn't quite enough. I'm gonna have to catch my breath and I'll go again. I'm gonna have to make a few modifications. My groove's now too big, I reckon. Not enough friction on it. And this side has all been worn down. I'm gonna have to go on the other side. But one of the problems I reckon I'm having here is for this bamboo to get here, it must have been drifted at sea for, you know, months or potentially even years, and it sucks in all that salt water. Salt water then holds moisture, same way if you leave like your kitchen salt out with a lid open and it's humid, it attracts all the moisture. So this kind of salt drenched bamboo would have a heap of moisture in it. Basically that means it's more difficult for it to ignite and light on fire. But I need a fire, that's one thing for sure. So we'll have another crack. Oh, let's try again. Oh, I'm starting to smell smoke. You can see that bamboo's getting blacker. go again, we'll go again. The mosquitoes have really found me here, so I really want this to be the lucky last go. Need to get a fire going. Come on. We might be on here. Yeah, I think we're on. I think we're on. We are on. We've got an ember in there. Come on, there's a little ember in there. I need to move to the fire. Yes! 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 You beauty! There's probably few things more rewarding in the world than eventually getting a friction fire started. Phew! Right, I'm going to light one of these bits on fire and then transfer it down to the beach. We're almost there, guys, we're almost there. That nice breeze is just coming through and blowing, giving it the oxygen it needs, and it should go up any second now. I can see a fire. Woo! We're on. We are absolutely on. Yes. Woo! Tell you, that is a bloody beautiful sight after the last hour or so fighting with the mosquitoes, rubbing sticks together. But we've got it. Once that sun goes down a little bit further, of course we're going to cook up that beautiful fish we got. All right, it's like a great coal base there already, so just going to bring some coals down here. Straight on, beautiful. That'll do him. Dinner is served. Does smell delicious. Just while I let him cool down there, after dinner I'm gonna need to find some hydration. I've been sipping away at this water bottle we found. The water's beautiful, nice and fresh, but so after dinner I'm actually gonna go for a walk, see if I can find some coconuts. It's gonna be a low tide tonight and I've got that torch, so I'm feeling like if I've got the energy, I'm gonna go for a bit of a spotlight and see if I can come across a crayfish like this, because that would just be absolutely unreal. Skin should just peel off beautifully. Oh, that's when you know it's cooked perfectly. It's strangely satisfying. Nice, look at that. Beautiful cooked trevally. I have used probably a lot more energy than I would have liked today, but I reckon the best tactic is for the first couple of days, you really want to explore, see what's around you. So that way we know what fruits are in season. So we've got those figs we can snack on throughout the day. You know where the coconut trees are, you know where your best chance of food and hydration is. So certainly the first day I wouldn't mind having a bit of a look around, and then once you've got the lay of the land a little bit better, then you kind of be a bit more selective with where you use your energy. All right, I've got that fire stoked up and roaring now. And it sounds like that tide has dropped all the way out. I reckon it's low tide now. I'm gonna throw the head mount on, take a torch. Let's go for a bit of a night walk and see if we can find anything to eat out there. Definitely low tide at the moment. There's a couple of big hermit crabs. There's a shark there. he must be hunting through here at night time as well. You can see that current is ripping out. I must have a little bit of time left until it's dead low tide. But through the night time, I'm really hoping for a crayfish, like one of those big shells we found washed in on the beach. Let's go see what we can find. Oh, look at these coral crabs out feeding. Check this out. That's cool. Can't eat these guys though. They're toxic to us, so we don't want to eat them. Big moray eel. Look at that. He's probably hunting for similar things to I am. There's a big fish here, big sweet lips. Oh, if I had a spear, I could just nail him. That's a good sign. There's big fish in here. Oh, look at the swell smashing over that reef there still, which makes it hard. There's one there. Can you see that cray there, guys? There's actually a couple here. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's one. He's taken off. Here he is. Where's he going? Where's he going? There he is. Yes. Dude, beauty. I've got one. Woo. I've got a crayfish. Look at that. That's a beautiful little cray. Now, you know what? If I was in a survival situation like our mate seeking asylum, I would 100% eat that. A tasty sized cray, but I think he's probably a bit small for me. I can survive a day realistically without eating him, so I'm going to put him back. Off he goes. He's keen to get out of here. I need to find a bigger one. What is that? See if there's any more in here. Is that an urchin or a cray? Ah, urchin. Oh, that's gonna sting. Bloody sea urchin. It's like that swell's picked up a bit here. It's waist deep now. Really don't want to lose my feet here because there's a big current sucking straight down that way off the reef edge. Crayfish up out of the water. Yes. Once again, guys, if I was starving out here like our mates were, they'd absolutely be eating this, but I'm just gonna leave this guy be. See you, mate. You'll notice the crayfish eyes actually reflect and stand out a little bit, reflect back to the torchlight. So that's what I'm looking for in here. Look at that big cod. Oh, he'd be perfect eating size if I had a spear. I almost stepped on him. See him there? Yes, got him. That's the one that's coming home for dinner. So these guys don't get as big as the other species of crayfish, and he is gonna come home for food. That's exactly what we're after. You beauty. Oh, there's another one here. See him there? I mean, that one's definitely edible, but I'm gonna leave him there because I've already got one. He can be tomorrow night. How cool is that? Look at them in that clear water. That is awesome, hey? Guys, there is the most beautiful parrotfish asleep on the top of this rock, and it's low tide, so he's almost out of the water here. What a beautiful find. What else have we got in here? Turban shell. Oh, beautiful big spider conch. This one is coming home for brekkie, I reckon. Oh, turtle. Look at that. That's awesome. Oh, there we go, guys. It was worth going for a walk anyway. We've got a beautiful crayfish and a spider conch. Now, this species of cray doesn't grow as large as some of the other species of cray. So this is actually a fairly nice size one, probably a medium to nice size one. We saw a lot of smaller ones, we let them go. This is gonna be breakfast, guys. I'm absolutely knackered now, so I'm gonna stoke this fire up, have a lie down, and try to get some sleep. All right, I'm parked up under a beach almond tree here this morning, and that's what these nuts are. So they're gonna add to our breakfast this morning. Just get this coal base nice. I'm gonna put that crayfish straight on, and that spider conch. That's the almond that comes out of it. Good source of protein. We'll just snack on these while our brekkies cook them. This cray's gonna be almost done, I think. Oh yeah, it's hot. Give him a little bit longer. Look at that. We're gonna give this a minute to cool down, and then it's time for breakfast of champions. Cut him straight down the middle, just like they do at the fancy restaurants. Yum, yum. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get into it. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now that is a real treat. So our mates that were seeking asylum, no doubt they would have gone through a living hell on the boat trip across here in order to end up here. But I do hope once they were here, they had these sort of moments of peace just like this, where they could enjoy crayfish or shellfish by the fire. That would have gone a long way in keeping morale high amongst the crew. Now, as for me, I definitely reckon an island where there's a large jungle and a lot to explore, a nomadic approach is the way to go. That way you can sort of wander the foreshore, find where the low-hanging coconuts are for hydration, find what fruits are in season like the fig tree, the beach almond trees that you can rely on. And then it's just a matter of getting in a routine, kind of keeping hydrated, keeping your food sources up. And I really do think you could live happily ever after in a place like this. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. Let me know what your game plan or your approach would have been to survive out here in the comments. If you'd like to see more of these types of adventures, Az and I do a couple of videos a week on this channel. You're welcome to subscribe. And also Fran and I do a video a week on the B2B Castaways channel. You're welcome to check that out as well. Or if you'd like to have a bit of a yarn, see what's happening behind the scenes of B2B, you're welcome to join our Patreon. That support helps make these videos possible. Thanks, guys. Hope you